What's up, everybody? This is Ricky, and welcome to another episode of Turn to Your Neighbor, Season 2. I just love saying that, y'all. Season 2, Season 2, Season 2. It just feels so good to say. But thank you guys for the continued support and watching week after week, every Tuesday. I appreciate you guys. And also sharing this to people. I've been getting great comments, great support, great feedback. So I really appreciate it. Guys, I couldn't do this without you. So shout out to y'all. Listen, y'all know how the show goes. On this show, I invite my friends, my homies, people in the community doing great things onto the show. We talk, we laugh, we sometimes cry. We actually get a little bit heavy in debate, but it's all love here on this show. And today is no different. Today I have a super special guest, someone that I personally look up to from afar. I've been watching this cat for years, man. He's been doing great things in the city of Philadelphia, and he agreed to come on the show to talk about some of the things he has going on and maybe help a few people along the way. Our special guest for today is a writer, director, and actor. He is the head of Focus Studios right here in Philadelphia, the founder and CEO of My New Philly, which is known now as the co-creator space. His content has won awards at LA Web Fest and has been Emmy nominated, y'all. He has 10 years experience in front of the camera and now celebrating 10 years as a LLC production business behind the camera, where you can hire his studio for weddings, product commercials, and web style videos. Listen, this man can do it all. Help me show some love for our special guest, Kyree Terrell. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, man? I'm good, man. Just working. Another busy day, but
I
had to
feel
take
you.
some time. I'll jump on with you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. You always on the move, so I really appreciate this time, man. And that's funny because as I was introducing you, I was sitting here thinking this man really has accomplished so much before he's 30. Like, did you even envision yourself being where you are about 20 so years ago as a teen?
I'm well over 30. I don't know where you got that
I
from.
mean,
Maybe
under
before
40.
40.
I said under 4, under 40.
I'm
People
about to
was like, wait,
say,
what?
young man. Um, I would say yes and no. I mean, we all have dreams, we all have aspirations, and we all, talk about where we hope to get or where we will get or whatever. But excuse the yawn. I've literally been up running since 7. But we rarely do we, exceed those dreams. And I'm somebody who I keep moving the goalpost on myself, man, because I'm never satisfied, and I'm just hella ambitious, and I just got hella hustle in me. So sometimes, like a friend of mine, my guy Brad Baker, we were filming my podcast, the Pro Lover podcast, and he just was walking through the studio, and he just was like, "Wow, man, you ever stop and take inventory of what you've accomplished?" And I was like, quite honestly, I don't. I haven't. And that's something that I definitely need to do more of, because I guess, like, when you reach a certain level of success and you move the goalpost on yourself, you don't really get a chance to celebrate, because you just like, all right, well, what's next? What I'm gonna do now? What I'm gonna do next? And that's how I've been living. So, I have accomplished quite a bit, especially from where I come from. I'm just not satisfied with where I am currently. So, I'm on to my next chapter now, which is, Tim, film and TV.
Yeah.
Production is where I'm headed now. I know you're probably gonna ask me this question, but since I'm here, I'll explain really quick. I picked up a camera to basically Tyler Perry Issa Rae situation. Like, I picked up a camera because, like you said in my intro, I was acting, and I saw that there just wasn't a lot of representation of us the way I wanted to be represented. And then a lot of the stuff that I was going out for, auditioning for, I wasn't getting. And it wasn't because I wasn't talented enough. It was just because it was either political, it was some nepotism, I wasn't the right color, I wasn't the right fit, whatever it might have been. And I decided, you know what, I want to give my own self my own opportunity. So that's how I even picked up a camera and decided to become a film director. But what ended up happening was I got really good at it really fast, and people started hiring me. And once people started hiring me, I started making good money. And I'm literally like on a 10-year detour from my personal dream and passion, which is writing, directing, and acting. So, you know, COVID gave us all a chance to not do nothing for a while and refocus. So my refocus was just making sure that these next 10 years of my life are spent creating television and films.
Yeah, I see you definitely working hard, man. I follow you, and I think it's really important that you try to take us a moment just to appreciate it. Because as someone who I feel like is semi following your footsteps and is motivated by what you're doing, I'm like, man, you have people looking at you like, if he can do it, I can do it. You were at a place at that same place, so like, but it's really, I get you. You got your mind focused on the next thing. But just as a person outside looking in, man, you really have done a lot. So you really should take a second, like, man, like this is real. So I appreciate everything you're doing. And then you mentioned, yeah, no problem, man. And you mentioned that you know, a little bit why you picked up the camera. What age were you? Like, were you a teenager?
27. I was 27, so I'm 39 now. I was 27-ish when I first picked up the camera, and it was out of necessity. Like I said, I was modeling, I was acting, I was doing all of that, and I was just getting looked over. And I just remember coming home. I distinctly remember like coming home from New York, and during that ride, I'm like, what do I want to do? Like, if I could just do what I want to do and be fulfilled, what do I want to do? Literally ask myself that question. And the answer to that was become a film director. And at that time, I knew nothing about it. The only thing I knew is that I'd been in front of other people's cameras before. I know how they work, knew nothing about lighting, sound, blocking, writing, scripting, none of it. But at that age, 27-ish, I said, you know what? I'm a make myself this thing. And I was unemployed at the time. I was just a starving artist, you know, personal training. I was bartending. I was doing construction gigs. I was doing whatever I could do to make ends meet while keeping my time free enough to be able to jump and go to an audition or whatever it might have been. And that life is rough, man. That life is rough because even when you do land something, it's not typically like a working actor isn't the people that you see on TV, right? If you see somebody on TV consistently anyway, they're a part of like the 1% that's like made it. Typically a working actor is, you know, I had 2 agents myself. It's a few agents. It's going to different castings. It's probably booking, you know, 20% of those castings if you're lucky and you're talented. Because like I said, it's a lot that goes into it that's beyond your control. You would like to think that it just was best man for the job every single time, and it's not that way. But I picked it up because I fixated my mind on becoming a director, and I fixated my mind on there not being a plan B. So what I did at that instance is I went back to work. I went back to work as a means to an end. I was working at Comcast. I did about 18 months, I want to say, maybe 2 years, as a sales rep, door to door, knocking on doors, selling cable. And I was making great money. I was making probably $80,000 a year plus bonuses. So I was making real good money, good enough for some people, but I wasn't fulfilled. I had taken that job literally just to pay my bills, take care of my one child at the time, and put some money up to A, grab some equipment, and B, be able to coast a little while I transition from, you know, working to not working, because I didn't know that I would make money with a camera. I didn't know that, you know. And one thing that people got to understand that I later understood was filmmaking costs money and videography makes money. See, videography is a job. It's a hireable thing. Filmmaking is something you have to invest in. You have to pay other people. You have to, you know, rent things and all sorts of things. Like, where I am, this is called Cast House. So I'm only giving y'all a glimpse because I'm literally in the process of like my door is wide open right now because I'm changing the locks. But this is basically a production studio that's a house. We're going to Airbnb it, we're going to peer space it, but we're going to rent it to creatives. And I'm doing that because I ran into that issue. You know, nobody wanted to rent to me when as soon as I said, "Oh, I'm gonna be filming some scenes in there." So we're going to be friendly to the creator in this particular Airbnb. But that's jumping off topic. When I picked up the camera, I did work for a year and a half for free. Just and this is something that like I know people they pick up a camera, they pick up whatever you do. If you're new to doing it, you gotta do it for free. You gotta prove yourself, right? And I know everybody want to say, "Oh, I ain't working, I ain't doing." But if you only had this new thing you're doing for a couple of months, why should people respect you? No one should. They shouldn't respect you, right? I'm not saying they won't. I'm not saying you can't become that good at it that fast. It's rare, but you got to put some time.
Yeah,
exactly. You got to put some time in, and I knew that. So I was just asking anybody. You had an event, you had a wedding, you had whatever. I shot for a year before making my first dollar, and the first check I got was only $50 for an event. And that was like back then, that the event was probably 4 hours long. I shot the whole event. This was before I made up rules like hourly rates and stuff. And then back then I had a white Mac with the old Final Cut on it. It took me probably 2 days just to edit something like that. So you talking about, and when I say 2 days, I'm talking about 10, 12-hour days between trying to render something, seeing if you like it, you don't like it, having to start over, things like that. Like the technology was way, way different when I started. I say that all the time to the new content creators, like y'all got gimbals. We got all these automated editing apps and different filters and so much you can do. You got iMovie in your phone. Yeah. Like what y'all can do with iMovie in your phone today, I couldn't do that on my desktop in 2 days.
Right.
Like for real. But that things like that, they just used to fuel me. And now because I did work like that, it makes me that much better with the new technology because I'm used to out.
Yeah, you had to put in the work before everything got fancy and user friendly. You had to put in that work to see step by step how to do it, how it works behind the scenes. Well, I was going to ask you to give some advice, but you really gave some creators and some future actors, writers, producers. I don't got the check to give you what you just gave to people, so I appreciate that.
That's just a little bit, man, because you got to understand. At my new Philly, I've had hundreds of creators come through my hands, right? And I don't take anybody's credit. I believe that the people who are successful that came through my new Philly would have been successful with or without my new Philly. But I also know that all of them would mention my new Philly in their success story, in their how they got there. And when I say those people that are successful, I'm talking about we got people that are on news channels now, radio, working behind the scenes of places like HBO, Netflix, Food Network, these types of different places where people that came through our programs are now working, right? And one of the biggest things that I tell everybody is, especially young people, it has to be somebody, right? All of these seats and all of these jobs change, they cycle out. It has to be somebody. And I know people that come from the inner city especially have a hard time believing that they can be. Just that notion that they can be. It's real hard to see yourself as something that you've never seen anyone else as, right? And when I say seen, obviously we've seen them with our eyes, but I mean like my brother, my cousin, my next door neighbor was of this. And because this closeness, I got to ask questions that made it seem real to me, right? Most of what we see, especially in TV and film production, it feels fantastical. It feels like I'll never get there, but it has to be someone. And right now, like a lot of my peers are in the industry, a lot of people who I either went to school with or just came up with or whatever. And by and large, most of those people, I can pick up the phone right now and I can either work with, I give them jobs, right? I'm always hiring people that I came up with. And I'm talking about people who are successful already.
Yeah.
I get calls for where they're like, people are like, Kyree, I needed this, I needed that. And I'm like, oh, I got the perfect person, you know? And that's in all different types of fields, whether we're talking about, you know, culinary arts, fitness, you know, artists, whatever it may be. I have friends that are in all of these places. And the biggest point I'm making when I say that is, if it has to be someone, number one, remember that some of those someones are going to become, or I should say, some of your friends are going to become those someones. That's number one, right? The people around you that you went to elementary school with, that you work a job with, that whatever it is, some of those people, not all of them, but a handful of those people are going to become the somebodies, right? The way you stay connected and the way you push for your own success is you have to become somebody too.
Yeah.
Right? Because all of those people who I said I can reach out to, they don't take my phone call because they just know Kyree from the 8th grade from Temple University or whatever. It's because they know when I call, it's with value, right? So when I say it has to be someone, keep that in your mind. It can be you. And if you want those people who become somebodies to still answer your phone and to help you with your career, and you help them with theirs, you have to become somebody too. You have to become someone of value, right? And the best way I can tell you to become that person is to give value.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. So I consider you the creator of creators. Like, you do it all, write, produce, film, all the good stuff. Do you prefer one art over the other, or one lane?
It's tough to say, because while I enjoy acting, I would put acting, if I had to pick writing, directing, and acting, I would put acting at the bottom of that list. But the reason I would put it at the bottom of that list is because, one, I love watching a story that I created unfold. And two, I'm not ever going to be able to play every role, right? So the minuscule piece is like, when I see my career, even if I do 10 films over the next 10 years, I can only play one role in each of those films, unless I'm doing characters or something, like we're about to do Bay versus Bay, because we are going to do some characters. But
okay, all right.
Yeah, I would put acting down there, and I think I have. I'm nowhere near how good I'll be one day. I'm that critical of myself. However, I believe that when my career is said and done, I'll be more remembered for the stories I told than I will for the roles I played.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So that's and even that's a tough call, because I love writing, directing, and acting so closely together. Like it would be like 33%, 30%, 27 or something like that. Like whatever that mix is, like they super close. But it is definitely, I would say, directing, writing, acting, in that order.
Got you. I'm not going to make you choose, so we're good. So we're going to switch gears just a little bit. So for those who don't know, you have sort of an alias, a nickname, an alter ego, if you will, the Pro Lover.
I got a couple of them. What you talking about? Oh, the Pro Lover.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Where'd that come from, man?
You know what's funny, man? Pandemic starts. I have literally 30 plus grand on the books in March last year. This time last year, like literally this time last year, I have probably 30 grand worth of clients on the books. They all cancel. And I'm talking about like March's first quarter. I'm doing good. I'm talking about the money I already made in January and February. I got another 30 grand about to hit my books in March. Everybody cancels, right? So now, I mean, I don't have to tell the people that's watching or yourself, we all had plans last year around this time that were halted, right? So everything I'm thinking about doing is like, it's ready to go. I'm like, I'm good. I got this, I got that coming up. You know, I'm already kind of counting my recurring clients that I always get. I'm already counting my weddings and the minimums that I'm gonna make, you know, and then it's the top of the year. So I'm like, oh, this year looks good, right? Everything falls off the books. I'm not making no money, right? And I'm talking about, this is before the SBA talk even started. This is before, you know, PPP and PUA and all of this stuff started talking. I had no idea where I was going to make money from, right? So I was going to turn to digital content, right? My thought process was, I can create content during this pandemic and I can get a little buzz around that content and I can sell digital content, ebooks, webinars, the whole nine, to try and self-sustain my income. And initially, I was going to do that for customer service. I had this whole campaign and persona and a whole thing called the Customer Service Guru. And I had, you know, started dropping little graphics and little, you know, videos and stuff like that about it. Had to talk with my cousin about it. My cousin was like, listen, man, if anybody could understand the miraculous feats you pulled off with women in your life and the crazy, you know, just things you've gotten from women and the stories that I know intimately, like my cousin's like my brother, he know everything. He was like, bro, like if you can tactfully find a way to sell that shit, that's your cash cow, right? And
so
my
you was the man. That's
was,
what you're saying. You was the man.
listen, back in my backslide days, man, I was a player to be reckoned with. You understand what I'm saying? My girl was sitting next to me and she was like, he ain't wrong.
All right, we got the stamp of approval. You good.
The Pro Lover was born, you know? So I said, all right, let me figure out, you know, how I can teach people how to have better sex lives and better relationships through alternative means, right? Not necessarily, like, obviously I'm gonna say some of the same things that people have echoed, but by and large, I wanna challenge people to think about how we're relating in 2021. And I personally believe that the way we relate, by and large, not everyone, but the way we relate in 2021 is old teachings, old methods, old ideologies. It's a lot of things that just don't work, never have, never will. I don't have to tell anybody that's watching that the divorce rate has always been super high in America. And it doesn't matter. You can say, oh, social media ruined relationships. Well, then you need to go back 10 years so they can tell you, oh, the digital age ruined relationships. They go back after that. Oh, newspapers ruined relationships. Oh, the railroad ruined relationships. It's the people. It don't matter what age you go back, as far as you can go. One thing you're going to find is a consistently high divorce rate. So one of the things that the Pro Lover is here to do is to challenge people to think about how they relate in a different way, right? To even say that, you know, maybe divorce doesn't mean failure, right? Maybe how you got into that marriage from rip needs to be identified and needs to be discussed. And then maybe the way that you dealt in that relationship could have been something that two people could agree upon, right? Because I'm gonna tell you like this, like, even if you decided, hey, let's try to make this work for 5 years and let's look up in 5 years and decide where we are and what we want to do. I don't see no, businesses do it all the time, right? Quarterly assessments, yearly assessments, benchmarks, bookmark, right? Your college does it, right? They say, look, you got to do this for 4 years, and if you do it successfully, we'll call you a this, we'll give you a degree of this, right? But people typically, oh, you with somebody 18 months, you love them, you ready to have kids, you ready to get married, you ready to do all these things, but that's just really not long enough to hitch yourself to someone forever. You know what I'm saying? And even if you do, there's things that we need to talk about. There's things, there's clauses, if you will, There's what do you call it? There's standards that I require, right? There's things that you have to live up to. And, you know, one of the most famous ones is sickness and health and death do us part, and for richer, for poorer, and for better or worse, and all these things that people say. But let's be real, when you're saying those things, you're not assuming that any of those things will come to fruition, right? So one of the things, like me and my girl, we've had those talks. We've had that. What does richer for poorer look like? What does that mean? Let's talk about that. What does sickness and health mean, right? What if I am incapacitatedly sick? Do I really depend on you 100%? Do I expect you to not want even something like sex if I all of a sudden can't provide that, and that's something that you were used to? Like, let's have these grown-up conversations and talk about how, you know, sex and finance, or maybe infidelity, I should say, and finance are the two things that cause divorce, right? Let's talk about how swinger couples have the lowest divorce rate, right? Let's talk about things like that, because I'm not going to tell you go be a swinger, but what I am going to tell you is they don't cheat by and large. They bring their partner in with them if they're going to do something sexual outside of the relationship. So they're only working with 50% of the reasons why people get divorced. They only working with finance. So as long as they can get that together, that's why their relationships last longer. So there's just different ideologies that we really need to start to at least converse about. You know, at least open those up. That's how the Pro Lover was born. I know I'm long-winded, man.
No, you're good, man. No, you hit so many things. And the biggest thing, like, my takeaway is communication is key. Like, having those conversations before the problem happens. Right? Bringing the possibility, someone you can really trust to talk to about things that you might not have thought of before. So I love it. So actually, this takes me to the next part, man. Because of the birth of the Pro Lover, you guys actually have actors do skits, acting out possible scenarios and couples and relationships. So I'm gonna pull up, just for the sake of time, just one of those skits, man. This is actually one that you are in, so you get to shine a little bit, and we're gonna sit back and talk about it. All right, let's see.
Flashbacks. And do you know what we're eating yet?
They should be in the kitchen under the sink to the left. And I told you I'm gonna throw some ribs on. You know my cousin coming over later.
I got it.
Hey.
Hey. Cuzzo.
Yo, what's up?
My guy. Hey, Sass. This is my cousin Cole. More like a brother to me, right, you know what I'm saying? And this is my girl Sass, bro.
Hey, Lou, man, I ain't even know you was all in love and whatnot.
Oh, you ain't know?
Nice to meet you.
That's my babe. Oh, shit, my ribs.
Okay.
You hungry, cuz?
Yeah.
Hey, take care, cuz.
All right.
Listen, you gonna have to tell him.
Tell him what?
Are you dumb?
Kobe, we had sex one time over 10 years ago. Let it go.
Yo, that's my fucking cousin. We can't keep something like this away from him.
We have a good thing going on, and you aren't about to fuck shit up for something that happened way in the past, okay? It's not like we're a couple of some shit.
Yeah, but we fucked.
Keep your voice the fuck down, Kobe.
Listen, we gotta let him know.
We aren't gonna tell him shit. You're not gonna tell him shit.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I want to do something. Come on.
Hey, what you talking about?
Listen, I was talking about that time, you saved my life.
You just want to reside in something.
First of all, do you really cook ribs? That's the part that stood out to me the most.
I'm nice. Rib game.
All right, cool. All right, so let's talk about, who do you think was wrong when you was making that? Who did you have someone in mind that was more wrong, or what's your opinion on that situation?
Who was more wrong in that situation? Let me think. So what I would do is I would put myself in everybody's shoes, right? And I would explain my standpoint from everybody's shoes. If I was the woman in that situation, I would say she's wrong. I would want to know. Or I'm sorry, if I were her, I would want my partner to know. So the way that one was written was, she's never met this cousin, right?
there's that shocked hey at the door. So it is signifying that this is the first time that they've seen each other. But now that she has that information, I think it's noble, you know, in your relationship. We just talked about communication and being open. I think your relationship will last past it if it were a strong enough relationship to begin with. And if your relationship can't withstand that, then it would have broken because of something else anyway. Yeah. I don't think people be thinking like that. If I'm Kobe in that piece, the gentleman that came in, I think he's right to want to tell. And I think what I would do if I were him is I would have let her know, you know, I'm not going to blow up the spot. We going to have a good time and all of that, but you got a week. You know, the next time I speak to him, I'm going to expect this because he calling me to tell me he know. Yeah. Otherwise, next Sunday, I'm going to be like, look.
It's about to be a Tyler Perry movie in this show.
Shorty was supposed to tell you, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's where my.
Yeah, and I love that video. I picked that one because I love the effect of the shock. Like, you really captured the shock of like, oh, this is the first time they meeting again.
Mm-hmm.
And like just the angles and just the fact that I know we talked about it earlier, like COVID created the pro lover because of a couple of deals fell through or whatever, contracts. But like you also get to hire people now because of this. So like
right.
It kind of worked out. So that's pretty dope, man. So I want y'all to put in your comment what y'all think, who was wrong, and then go to the pro lover page and put it again. All right.
Right.
We're gonna get to all that.
Follow relation skits, hashtag.
Relation skits, guys. There's so many of them, man. And look, they're quality stuff right there. All right. So before we let you get out of here, I want to play one rapid fire game called Tell Us About It. All right. Very simple. I'll pull up a picture. And you tell us about it. First thing that comes to your mind, we get thoughts about this picture. All right. All right. So tell us about this picture right here.
My guy, Malk.
What's going on?
Malk was real. He just was great in the community, man. He would give back. Every year he would do this food drive, and it was more than a food drive. He was giving out haircuts, healthcare, you know, hygiene products, the whole nine. And you see Feed the Children behind that. So that was one of his sponsors and partners. And I've been working with the Malcolm Jenkins Foundation for, man, the past 4 or 5-ish years.
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah.
And you know, got real cool with Malcolm. He and I, you know, chat on the phone still to this day. His mom, you know, all the people around that, his father too. I filmed everything. I filmed his he had a football camp out in Piscataway. He did some college scholarship stuff down in New Orleans, as well as Ohio. I went to those places. Okay. And just, you know what I mean, just a great client to have, man. I miss him in that Eagles green, though.
Yeah, me too, bro. Me too. We ain't gonna talk about that. That's topic for another day. All right. I got another one for you really quickly. Tell us about this right here.
Date makers. Damn, you went in the can.
I did my research, man. I told you I was a fan for a while.
You went in the can. This John, man, this was my first TV show that actually was on TV. This was, man, I don't even know the year. This had to be 2002. Oh, and the funny part about this is I had no idea what I was doing. Wow. I had no idea. So that just goes to show, like, man, if you go to Philly Cam today, they still show this as one of their better programs that was on, and this was 10 years ago. So yeah, man, my guy Spank on there, Tania, my guy Matt Nadeau, Kate Beaver. This was a fun production, man. I actually look forward to bringing Date Makers back one day, man.
Got you. All right, one last one. I had to put this one up. I told you I did my research. All right.
Took me back with that one. What else you got?
Last one. Bam.
We went all the way back. Now this is before I picked up a camera.
This the modeling days?
This is my modeling days, man. As you can see, I haven't aged a year.
Yo, I looked at, I was like, when was this? 2016?
Yeah, as you can see, same old guy, same old guy. How old did say I was? 26 on there. Damn. Yeah, that's 13 years ago, man. So that was probably a year before I picked the camera up or started dibbling and dabbling at least. You know what I'm saying? Because it's 2008.
Yeah, 2008.
Damn. So yeah, my company was birthed in 2011. So yeah, I think I was tinkering around 2009, maybe closer to 10. I definitely wasn't with Comcast at this time. No, this is definitely when I was still a starving artist traveling, trying to do my thing. But yeah, man, that was one of the covers I made.
All right, man. I knew you'd get a kick out of that last one, man.
Yeah, that's funny. You could have gave me 10 guesses. It wouldn't have been that.
All right, man. Well, look, thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. So this is the time where I really want you to, let people know how they can support you, where they can find you at, and maybe even work with you, man, because you dropped some gems and we know you're doing amazing things in the city of Philadelphia. So how can people catch up on you and stay in contact with you and what you got going on?
Facts. Well, all of my social media is just Kyree Terrell, KYREETERRELL. The Pro Lover obviously is the _Pro Lover. I separated those pages because I have a 14-year-old as well as young people that follow me and the whole nine. So hopefully they don't find that page and follow me there. Because we talking grown-up talk on the Pro Lover. But as far as supporting me, there's a few businesses that you guys can support. First and foremost, definitely the co-creator space. Ricky said it best. I create creators. That's what we do down there at the co-creator space. It's still some of the same leadership that brought you My New Philly. We just had to pivot during the pandemic, like a lot of businesses had to. So we're trying that out. Right now it's basically a very affordable membership for use of our space, use of our equipment. We have a podcasting room now. So if you're someone that wants to do a podcast and, maybe don't have the equipment or the infrastructure, for a low cost, you can come to us and do your podcast whenever you like. And then there's space, meeting space, rehearsal space, shooting space, filming space, built up sets, furniture, the whole nine down there at the co-creator space. If you're interested in that, go to My New Philly on Instagram, at My New Philly on Instagram, because right now we have posted our next upcoming open houses. So we're doing staggered times, obviously due to COVID once again, but staggered times that you can come in and you can do a tour of the space and see if it fits your needs. That's number one. I mentioned Cast House. Cast House will be opening hopefully Monday. That's why I'm down here busting my ass now trying to get this off the ground. It's traditionally an Airbnb. Everybody knows what an Airbnb is. A lot of people might be familiar with Peerspace as well. Peerspace is like an hourly rental site for creators to just get different types of spaces. So this will be available on there as well. And the biggest difference about us and why we're calling it Cast House is because we're going to be production friendly. We want you to bring your productions here. We want you to shoot, film, photograph, whatever you might need to do at Cast House. So photos and the whole nine will be going up, very soon. Right now, it's just a bunch of boxes and trash and cardboard and the whole nine in here. So I can't really show y'all and put that in y'all mind. But very, very soon, photos and things will be going out to show y'all Cast House.
Good, man. Well,
so that's how you can support me, man. And watch my stuff. I got a lot of stuff coming. Bay vs. Bay, the sitcom is coming.
Got you. I'm gonna be putting links all over the place, man. So you good. And Turn to Your Neighbor, our community, we follow up. And I'm gonna be on one of them open houses too, so don't even worry about it.
Come through. See if we fit your needs, man.
Man, thank you for coming out, man. Kyree Terrell. Everyone who's watching, thank y'all for coming out, man. Listen, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All right, guys, we do this every Tuesday. But until next time, peace, y'all.
All right, bro.